In this video, I am going to solve this problem where we need to find the coordinates of the point of intersection of the line that goes through point 2 comma negative 1 and is perpendicular to the line 3x minus y minus 7 is equal to 0. To solve the problem, it's a good idea to kind of sketch it. So let's go ahead and sketch it and get an overall view of what we are looking for. So let's try to sketch this line. So keep in mind this is just a sketch approximation. So this line kind of looks like this, okay? 3x minus y minus 7 is equal to 0. Why does it look like this? If you solve for y from this equation, you will get y is equal to 3x minus 7. That tells you that the slope is positive. That means as you go from left to right on the graph, the line must go up. So this is just a sketch. This is my y is equal to 3x minus 7. Now I am given a point 2 comma negative 1, okay? So let's say 2 comma negative 1 is somewhere. Again, this is just a sketch. Don't expect that it is exact. So 2 comma negative 1 somewhere here. I am just making it up. 2 comma negative 1. Now we are looking for a straight line that is going to be perpendicular to this line, the red line. Let's find that line, which is this blue line, okay? This blue line is perpendicular to the red line. That means it's 90 degrees here, and it goes through the point 2 comma negative 1. And the problem wants you to find this point of intersection, meaning the coordinates of this point of intersection. That's what the problem is asking. Now, to find the equation of any straight line, you need two things. Keep that in mind. First thing you need is the slope of the line that you are looking for, okay? And the second thing you need is a point on the line, okay? So just any point would do it, a point on the line. Okay, that's what we are looking for. In our case, the point on the line is given, which is 2 comma negative 1. However, we do not know the slope. But do keep in mind, they have given you a relationship between the red line and the blue line. Blue line is our desired line, okay? So these two straight lines are perpendicular to each other. So their slopes have a special relationship, which is they are negative reciprocals of each other. Once again, their slopes are negative reciprocals of each other if two straight lines are perpendicular. You may have also seen this thing in a different format. So let's say slope of one line is m1 and the slope of the other line is m2. If these two straight lines are perpendicular to each other, then their product is equal to negative 1, which is to say they are negative reciprocals of each other, because if you solve for m1, you are going to get negative 1 over m2. So that means m2, take the reciprocal of it and put a negative in front of it, that's going to give you m1. So in our case, we are given the slope of the red line, which is 3, and the blue line is perpendicular to each other. So the slope of the blue line is, by the way, going to be, let's call it m, is going to be negative reciprocal of 3. So reciprocal of 3 is 1/3. Reciprocal of any number other than 0 is going to be 1 over that number. So reciprocal of 3 is 1/3. And what is the negative reciprocal of it? Just put the negative. So my slope of the blue line is going to be negative 1/3. Now I can find the equation of the blue line by using y is equal to mx plus b, the slope intercept form of a straight line. This is called slope intercept form of a straight line, By the way, please do keep in mind that this is the most useful form of the equation of a straight line. There are several other forms like point slope form, standard form, but this is the most useful form that tells you what the slope of the line is, and the y-intercept is at going to be point 0 comma b. So it gives you slope of the line that tells you how the line is oriented or what is the inclination of the line, and also it tells you where it intercepts the y-axis. But anyway, so in our case, we are looking for the blue line. So m is negative 1/3, then times x plus b. Now we've got to find this b. We are going to look for the b value, and that's why, by the way, folks, we are going to be using this point 2 comma negative 1. So the line, the blue line, which is represented by this equation, goes through the point 2 comma negative 1, so it must satisfy this equation, meaning if you plug in x equal to 2 here and y is equal to negative 1 here, then left hand side is going to be equal to right hand side. So I'm just gonna I'm looking for the b value. So to do that, I'm going to use the point 2 comma negative 1. So my y is negative 1 is equal to negative 1/3 times x. X is 2 plus b. Okay. Now negative 1 is equal to negative 1/3 times 2 is going to be negative 2/3 plus b. Now I'm going to add, let me add 2/3 to both sides. If I do that, on the left hand side, negative 1/3 plus 2/3 is going to give, negative 1 plus 2/3 is going to give me negative 1/3, okay, is equal to positive 2/3, negative 2/3 cancel out, that gives me b. So my equation is going to be, so I'm going to plug in the value of b right here. So if I do that, my equation of the blue line, so let me use the blue color, is going to be y is equal to negative 1/3 x plus b, but b is negative 1/3. Okay. Now I found the equation of the blue line. However, they kind of want you to find the point of intersection. That means the coordinates of the point of intersection. So I could just take the given line, which is y is equal to 3x minus 7 and y is equal to 1/3 x minus 1/3. I could take these two equations and solve for x and y. So it's pretty easy. In the first one, it says y is equal to 3x minus 7, and in the second equation, it says y is equal to negative 1/3 x minus 1/3, right? Now y is equal to this and y is equal to this, then this must be equal to this, which is to say 3x minus 7 is equal to negative 1/3 x minus 1/3. Now I'm going to solve for x. Let me just multiply everything by 3, both sides of the equation. Why am I doing it? So that I can get rid of the fractions. So using distributive property, I get 3 times 3x is 9x minus 3 times negative 7 is negative 21 is equal to, now negative 1/3 x times 3, I'm using distributive property, this times this is going to give me just negative x, and similarly this times this is going to be negative 1/3 times 3, which is negative 1. So now I'm going to move things around, add 21 to both sides, okay, and add x to both sides. If I do that, 9x plus x is 10x, negative 21 positive 21 cancel out, so I should put an x here, and then negative x positive x cancel out, negative 1 plus 21 is 20. Now I divide both sides by 10 to solve for x, right? If I do that, I get 10 cancel out, that gives me x on the left hand side, and on the right hand side 10 goes into 20 twice, so x is equal to 2. So I found x is equal to 2 for this point, so x is 2. Now I gotta find the y. It's pretty easy. I'm just gonna take this guy, this equation, y is equal to 3x minus 7, or y is equal to 3 times 2, because I just found x is equal to 2. I'm just plugging in this x value in this equation, minus 7. Now y is equal to 3 times 2 is 6 minus 7 is equal to, y is going to be equal to negative 1. Okay, so y is going to be negative 1. Now observe a kind of interesting thing. By the way, according to my sketch, okay, 2 comma negative 1 should have been here, but actually that point is right here. So the person who made the problem basically gave you a point that is actually on the line y is equal to negative 3x minus 7. So that point 2 comma negative 1 is going to be right here. So that's basically what it is. It is important for you to understand how a problem is solved, and also create a sketch or diagram so that you can visually see it, what you are looking for. Then the problem becomes easier. Let me summarize what I did. So you are given a point 2 comma negative 1 and a line, and you would like to find the point of intersection of a line that goes through this point 2 comma negative 1 and is perpendicular to the given line, which is y is equal to 3x minus 7, or equivalently 3x minus y minus 7 is equal to 0. Now, to find the equation of the perpendicular line, which is the blue line here, right here, we need to find its slope and we need to find a point on the line. A point on the line is given, which is 2 comma negative 1. By the way, this point is, in reality, is on this line. Okay, on the given line is here, and then of course the line is gonna, perpendicular line is gonna go through this point. So we kind of have the point which is 2 comma negative 1, but we need to find the slope. Now how do I find the slope? If two straight lines are perpendicular to each other, their slopes are negative reciprocals of each other, which is right here. Okay, so the slope of the given line is 3, so the slope of the perpendicular line is going to be negative 1/3. That's what we did here. And then we go ahead and plug it into this slope intercept form of a straight line, y is equal to mx plus b. Okay, and then we basically solve it and we get the value of b, and then we plug it back in. Now we solve the two equations, this equation and the given equation, to find the point of intersection, which is 2 comma negative 1. I hope that this discussion was helpful. Thank you very much.